Okay, recap for Friday the 17th of April 2026. I'm way too sad right now, but let's just talk about today's price action. What I expect, my trade, blah blah blah. Alright, so I did say in Friday's recap, Thursday's recap, that we're most likely gonna hit all-time highs today, right? If we can get above this. I did the recap when we're here, right? We have the potential of getting to all-time highs, and also we have the potential for TGIF, which is getting to 20% of the weekly range. So all I had to know is what was the opening range gap, and I said it was going to be obvious based on the opening range gap and what we do with it. Okay, so this is all-time high. This is the target for today. This is event horizon from this high to all-time high, and the trade essentially was based on us hitting this 15-minute gap, right? So pre-market, we had this obvious 15-minute gap that we had to hold. Right? If we're gonna be bullish, we had to hold it. But I also want to know my options. Are we gonna be so bullish that the trade is gonna be up here, or are we gonna be bearish and bullish, right? So if we hit the upper quadrant right there, that's my target for the opening range gap, then that means we're bullish, but I could be bearish as well later on, PM session, whatever. Once we ever hit all-time high, and we actually do something that makes sense for us to go short, right? But I was more inclined to go bullish because that's what's gonna happen earlier in the morning session. Okay, so what did I look for? Well, my first thing is us respecting this gap, right, on a 5-minute basis. So let's just go check the 5-minute. As you can see, where the body's closing, midpoint, right? So that's perfect, right? And in terms of the actual 5-minute gap, we're closing above midpoint on the 5-minute. 1 minute I didn't care because I wanted it to hit the upper quadrant, right? Next, what did I want to see? Well, we went higher, but we have this 5-minute gap that I expect a retracement from. But we come down first, and I see this candle. I'm like, alright, cool. This is gonna create the first presented fair value gap, trying to catch people short. But I'm gonna wait for it to inverse and then catch the long, and then I'll see what price does based on that. Okay, so we go up, we close, we inverse it, I take the long. Okay, I expect a retracement from the 5-minute, so I can't go break even yet. Well, we have the retracement and we go. Alright, we go higher, and I noticed we had this wick. NQ doesn't really wick as lower. Let me show you. So if you notice yesterday's price action, MNQ was having crazy wicks. So I was like, alright, I can't go break even until we close above this inversion. I mean, let me show you on the 5-minute. We have this is the only thing that could stop us, and I would expect a retracement if we go from there, right? Unless we close fully above it. So we don't close above it, so I know we could have a wick down, right? And watch this wick. We wick all the way down here, right? My stop loss is at break even at this point, and I know it could get hit, and I wouldn't mind if it got hit, and I would get into back in the trade if it's still looking normal, right? So we have the wick of doom as expected, and I'm just watching the midpoint, right? We don't get to it, perfect, and then we go higher, and then from there it's just easily just waiting for all-time high, and essentially the trade was from here till there, 150 points. That's the max format profit. Can't take any more of that, otherwise cook the consistency rule. So that's the market recap. There's nothing much, and then just knowing that we hit the lower quadrant, that means the upper quadrant, that means there'll be a short layer, which it could have went lower, but that's the max that you target. Um, I'm guessing there was an SMT here. Let's check. 1209, 1209. PM, 4.9 right there. So that was the short for the PM. Would I take it? Probably not. That's why I took the long, knowing that the short is more lower probability and it's gonna be later, right? So you could have took the short, and you probably would have got stopped out in profit. And then if you just waited again, you could have taken this short, and I guess that's just a better trade. Back down to these lows, right? That's low at 10. I would have expected it to go lower, but TGIF can happen on Monday, so I would expect Monday to launch us down, right? That's it. If you try to expect short, and the good thing that I know is from me this week and last week is I'm not trying to short market that's just bullish, right? That was my problem that I used to have before, which was just trying to short because there's just bunch of sell side. I'm like, yo, we've been going up for so long, we have to go down. But I just learned, yo, if it's going up, don't force it. Go up with it. If it's going down, don't force it. Just go down with it, right? Like, don't follow the trend, basically. And yeah, that's essentially the trade. I'm too tired to even explain more, but there isn't really much to it. The good thing I also expected the Wicked Doom, so I didn't push my stop loss higher. Right, I made sure it's just break even because even the Wicked Doom, it shouldn't come back to the first presented fair value gap. And you can see this wick is almost 40 points because I calculate how much these wicks can go, and this one went almost 40 points as well. So I just knew from here I kept pushing, making sure the stop loss is here, right? Because it could have around 40 points, 50 points, whatever we could do, and then it could continue higher. So to just make sure everybody's out and then go back on track. And I guess this would go to the midpoint and this or something. So yeah, that's the market recap. There isn't really much. It's just obvious that it was gonna be longs, first presented, inversion, easy, entry, and then from there you just have to wait and be patient and just know that there is a potential of this. And once you go over this, then that's it. You're gonna have to put your stop loss at this low and just let it ride. And it's just simple as that, really. So that's the market recap. Peace out.